Heat injury on the sites that I visited was chronic, from kind of mild subclinical heat injury to more severe. The symptoms that I personally witnessed included things like vomiting, dizziness, gastrointestinal distress, rashes, exhaustion so extreme that workers, when they got home at night, actually were unable to take off their clothes. They were just exhausted. The workers described heat as the most difficult pressure that they faced on sites in Qatar, that it was unimaginable to them before coming. They described it as drowning in the air. The adherence to heat protocols was pressing against the absolute pressure to finish a task under the threat of deportation, sanction, non-payment of wages. All of these pressures bore down. And what that meant on site was that cooling spaces were not used, they were empty. Water points were not visited, not only because of the time pressure, but because workers did not have the kind of autonomy and power to self-direct that you would need to actually protect yourself from heat.
The players follow a very healthy diet. They exercise regularly. They shouldn't smoke. And they are overall healthy, and they have very quick access to healthcare. But the migrant workers who will be working and did all the work during the summer didn't have any of that. Extreme heat was in play while doing an excessive metabolic work for migrant workers. I personally believe that the levels of heat that migrant workers were exposed to were beyond the levels that they should be exposed to, and this definitely contributed to excess amounts of deaths and adverse health outcomes. If we tend to focus on death, this is the most dramatic outcome that you can see when you examine health, then you tend to miss these other long-term effects. So we're talking about excessive strain on the kidneys, kidney failure, we're talking about heart disease, we're talking about injuries. You tend to perform less accurately when you are exposed to extreme heat, when you are completely in thermal comfort.
There's an additional layer that makes this difficult to discern, which is the time lag. So a 25-year-old man working in Qatar under heat conditions today may not experience the effect of that in any visible way until he's 35 and drops dead of a heart attack. Right, so that time lag also adds ambiguity.